There's a phenomenon that which we're all familiar with, called sometimes you remember what you learned and sometimes you don't. Yeah, happens to everyone, unless you're a Vaji Yosef and you remember everything, or you're somebody who forgets everything. Most of us is somewhere in between, right? We remember some things, we don't remember other things. So how does that happen? So one simple reason for that is we spoke about back in December is, did you chazer or not? Good, that's true. Another thing that we also spoke about in December is, did you ever understand fully what you learned? Did you have it clear? Good. But we're also all familiar with times where that don't fit that pattern, right? Where somehow like the shmu, like you remember like this shear just like sticks in your head, or that shmu sticks in your head, and you never chazered it. And the things you chazered like 15 times, and like a month later you don't remember them, right? So there's something else going on also. So what is that? What's that thing? What's the like magic switch you can flip to determine whether or not you'll remember something or not? So Mishnah Perkei Avos, Mishnah says, if your yiras chet precedes your chachma, so then your chachma will last. And the reverse, if chachmaso kedemes yiras cheto, ein chachmaso miskayemes. That's what the Mishnah says. And the Rishonim are all bothered by Akasha. How could it be that a person's yiras chet precedes his chachma? When the Mishnah says, ein bur yirei chet, person doesn't know anything, can't have yiras shamayim. So how is your yiras shamayim supposed to precede your chachma, precede you knowing anything? So it's theory in the Mishnahs. Yeah, that's the kasha. The kasha is clear. Good. So Aviyam there says that when we say yiras cheto kedemes l'chachmaso, it doesn't mean, it's not a chronological statement. It's not that your yiras chet, you have yiras chet, and then you figure out that you want to acquire chachma. That's not what it means. It means conceptually it comes first. Meaning, obviously you have to know something, however you know it, in order to want to get to yiras chet. But the question is, what do you want? Do you have a goal? Is your goal to arrive at yiras chet or not? If your goal is to arrive at yiras chet, then you have a blueprint. You have a picture where you're trying to go. Then you'll learn what you need to learn to get you there, right? If you want to be an engineer, so you figure out, backwards, l'mafreya, what classes do I need to take when, so that I'll be able to, become an engineer properly, whatever your goal is, right? And the Aviyam says, if you have a goal, you have a picture of what you want to do, and then you learn in line with that goal, you learn what's going to get you there, that's going to stick with you, because it's getting you something you want. And when you're learning something you want, it stays with you, right? I need this result. I need to get to the place where I'm a Yirei Shamayim. Good. So then whatever gets me there is going to stay with me, because that's filling a need that I have, and that's the key to remembering. When something is a nice vart or a cool chakira, it doesn't stick, right? If something is, I had a kasha, this was bothering me, and like it actually bothered me, right? And then I found it in Tosfos, or then I found it in the Pnei Yeshua, or then I found it in Ruchaim. I don't care where you found it, right? If it was your kasha, you remember the teretz. That's the way it works, because you had a need. When you have a need, when there's a vacuum, you can fill the vacuum. If there's no vacuum, there's no space for the teretz to land. There's no space for the chachma to land that will attach itself to you, right? And that's why you're much less likely to remember something where there was no kasha. Same is true of, which what Aviyam is talking about. Same is true of Musar, something that's going to push you to grow. If you have a picture of what you want to accomplish, what you want to be, and then someone gives you a key, gives you a piece of the puzzle of how you're going to get there, then it stays with you, because that's filling a need that you have. Self-generated need. That's what you want, right? As opposed to someone says a nice Musar shmooze, and it's not negaya to you because you're not working on that right now, and you have no you have no interest, emotionally speaking, in arriving at wherever the person is describing. So then that's a nice vart. Okay, it's a nice vart. The likelihood you remember it is very small. That's why a good mechanech or a good val musar will first drive you crazy with a question. Like I'm gonna be machriach you to understand there's a problem here. Then maybe it'll be your problem. If it's your problem, there's room for the answer, right? The same is true with someone saying a sichos musar. If he didn't paint a picture for you of how amazing it would be to have this mila, or how ridiculous and absurd it is that we all behave in whichever way, right? That we all do, right? Then where's the room for? There's no room for the musar to land. If first I tell you, it's like ridiculous that people spend X amount of money on fill in the blank, right? And you spend 5 minutes painting a whole picture of how absurd it is and what the results of that are, and what you're not spending money on because of that. So now you're like, oh, you got me uncomfortable. Like I need a way out of this. Now I'm going to give you an answer. Now there's room for something to stay, right? That's also the reason why when we make a goal, we either stick with it or we don't. Did it ever become something we need, or was it something nice? The people who stick with Aviyam are the people who at some point made the switch to not I want to learn the daf, I need to learn the daf. Right? And I'll learn it at a chasana, on the train, on the most ridiculous and less than ideal circumstances. But I can't go to sleep tonight. I didn't learn the daf yet. Right? Those are the people who are matzliach in daf yomi, right? The people who no, I have to learn the daf like this under the right circumstances. They're still holding by. It would be really nice if I learned daf yomi. That's not your ticket to success. Your ticket to success is I need to do this. You have to decide. That, every person, whatever their goal is, if I need it, you'll stick with it. If I just want it, there are a lot of things that you want, and a lot of things where what you want is subject to convenience, and it doesn't work out for you. The pasuk in Amos, Farches, it's probably a famous pasuk, right? There'll be a time when people are there's going to be a famine. It's going to be a hunger, not hunger for bread, and not thirst for water, but people who are going to be dying of thirst to hear what Hashem has to say. Rashi and the Radak explain the Jews in Vayis Rishon, where Amos is talking, they rejected what the Nevi'im had to say. They had Dvar Hashem, and they didn't like it, and they dismissed it. But eventually there's going to be a time, like we've had for many thousand years now, where we have no clear Dvar Hashem. We don't have Hashem speaking to us. We don't know exactly what Hashem wants from us. You think about it for like 10 seconds. How much would you pay to have an emes Navi come and tell you what you're supposed to do tomorrow? Like this is exactly vidiyuk what Hashem wants you to do tomorrow. Pretty cool. I'd pay for that, right? Unfortunately, we don't have that, right? But it's our job to cultivate hunger for Dvar Hashem. Like the same way I can't keep going because I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I can't keep going because I haven't learned yet today, right? There was a certain Ram in a certain yeshiva who once said a shmuz. It's a famous one, so if you know, you know. Where he once talked about he was on the phone all day with like parents and fundraising, whatever he was doing, and he got home like 11 o'clock. He realized I haven't learned today. So it's 11 o'clock at night. He's exhausted, so he sat down to learn because it's 11 o'clock. I can't. I haven't learned today, right? What am I supposed to do, right? So you have to get to that point where like I can't go to sleep without learning. I think there's a Maisa that they said Rav Levinson was after Tisha B'Av, so he and his family couldn't find him. Like, where is he? So eventually they found him like downstairs learning. So like, what? You haven't eaten yet? He said, okay, but I also haven't learned today because it's Tisha B'Av, so I can't learn, right? And before I eat, I have to learn because I have to learn today, right? That's the person who becomes a Gav Rabba because I have to learn now. It's a need, right? And if you need it, it'll stick with you, right? You say everybody knows, but you have to think broadly, not superficially. Rav Dessler writes in Kunsh Chesed that what causes people to take is because they're hungry. They have she'ifos. She'ifos comes from chisaron. She'ifa, you want something because you need to fill a lack that you have, right? So if that's what's talking about in V'nadon L'Chavero, that's in the ideal sense not a good thing, right? Because it means you're still trying to get things from other people. Fine, but more broadly speaking, that's exactly what we're talking about. A person wants to have Torah stick with him, so he has to have she'ifos, right? But I don't mean like big astogas can be a big Talmid Chacham. I'm not even talking about that. Just like, do you want to remember? Do you want this to be something that sticks with you? So you have to decide that you need this. And if that's the rights over there, use your imagination. Right? Hashem gave everybody the ability to imagine things that are not true, right? So if you don't feel like you want it yet, imagine what life would look like if you did want it, and you stick with that enough, it will become something you actually want. Torah sells itself. It doesn't need other things to sell it, but you may need to grease the engine a little bit using your imagination. Okay, go learn.